YouTube family! Welcome to another Two Family Homestead live stream. Woo!
Well, it is Tuesday night. How's everybody doing? I see we have a couple people out here. Keto Homestead with Jess, Geeky Gardens. Eric, how you doing this evening? River Rock Homestead. Who else we got? Quebec Homestead. So we got a couple folks out here. So thought maybe we'd talk a little bit about something that is known as the Ken Burns effect. And the Ken Burns effect, you just saw a number of examples of the Ken Burns effect. The Ken Burns effect. Well, first let's back up. Ken Burns he's a filmmaker, an American filmmaker. Was born in 1953. So, boy, I hate to say this, but that makes him the same age as me. So he is still around. Matter of fact, he was in the news a little bit today. He says that the United States has got 3 viruses. They have COVID-19 and they have white supremacy and misinformation. So, and that's how it was stated on the Huffington Post. But anyway, let's leave all that stuff alone. Ken Burns, American filmmaker, kind of developed a style utilizing still pictures. And he primarily did documentaries of using still images and putting them into motion. And it's since become known as the Ken Burns effect. Now let's take it a step further. The Ken Burns effect, in its truest sense, is simply just taking an image during the course of displaying it in a video format. Instead of just having it still, it will move from side to side, up and down, perhaps rotate a little bit, maybe zoom in, zoom out, or any combination of those things. So it pretty much just enhances the video quality of, let's say, a slideshow that you wouldn't get in any other way. I utilized some of those principles in creating our advertisement for our Monday Night Live. I do that for a number of reasons. Number one, we have a different guest on every week, and we want to showcase those different guests. And I'll tell you what, folks, if you are not getting here on a Monday night, you are sorely going to be missing out on some great shows coming up. We have some fantastic channels coming up, as you probably saw in the advertisement here just a couple minutes ago. We got some big channels. We got channels with over 500,000 subscribers coming up. Going to be on our tiny little show that we're doing on Monday nights. And I'm pleased to say that with most of these channels, not only do we know them personally, we are personal friends of them. And oh yeah, yeah, and we got some people that are in the chat here right now that are going to be on. But we have, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody that's kind of relatively just getting started or anything. I mean, I remember when Stivers were just getting started. They had, 10 subscribers? So, when Roots and Refuge, we were the first ones to put them on live on YouTube. And Jess is just a sweetheart. Maya, he'll just turn your crank here. He'll just kind of keep jabbing at you. So anyway, I can't. What's Quebec Homestead saying there? I can't to post.
Nothing. She's talking to me.
Okay. All right. So anyway, this filmmaker, Ken Burns, as I mentioned, he was born in 1953 in New York, of all places, Brooklyn, and extremely smart family, I guess would be the best way to say it. One of his, the son of Lila Smith, who was a biotechnician. I'm not sure exactly what that qualifies as, but obviously pretty smart. And Robert Burns, at the time a graduate student in cultural anthropology. I'm not sure exactly what all that is. That's above my pay scale. But anyway, in creating these documentaries and putting these still images into movement for things like the movie The Civil War, came out in 1990, baseball in 1994, the national parks in 2009, the Roosevelts in 2014, the Vietnam War in 2017, and country music in 2019. Those are probably some of his most notable work things. But people have used his name because it's his. He was a person that people are giving him credit for inventing this style. I don't know if he did or not, but he certainly did make it popular. So most editing programs can do that. Let me go over here to what do I have open here? Let's go over and grab Power Director. There we go. All right, so I have Power Director here. And, we'll just... I just want to grab a photo out of here. Let's see. Okay, so we just have this photo of an airplane and a pilot getting off of it. And I guess I kind of want you to notice first that the photo is not a 16 by 9 image. It's actually a little bit smaller. And I have this set on some default settings. When I import a photo, it defaults to 5 seconds. You can, of course, alter that with any editing program when you import a photo, what time length you want that to be. But let's go in and look closer at this photo. So we'll just kind of open it up here in the editor. And I think you can see that it has this image centered on the screen. You can probably see the black surrounding it. Now, one of the ways there's a couple different ways to do this, and one of the ways to do this is as follows. You can do this with keyframes, and this is how you'll have to do it on a number of different editors. You'll have to go in and just decide, okay, I'm going to manually set keyframes. Now, what is a keyframe? A keyframe is like an instruction set as to what the video file should be doing with the item that it's showing at that particular time. So in editing this, I can go in and I can change the width and height. I can make it much smaller, make it much larger. Let me set this back to where we started. And in that particular case, I was keeping the aspect ratio the same. So the entire image was getting larger and smaller. But I could change the aspect ratio if I want to. I can uncheck that so it doesn't keep the same aspect. And now I can make the width. I can stretch it out. I can turn that little jet into 737 or something there. You can see it gets much larger or smaller. You can shorten it up, make it a puddle jumper, or anything in between. In common thought processes, the Ken Burns effect does not alter the aspect of the image, but it can, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. So in this case, we are going to stretch this out, and we are going to set the scale with a keyframe right here at the beginning. And this whole little editing program, I have this entire 5-second clip open here, still image. And now I'm going to go to the end of the 5 seconds. And I'm going to bring this back down. So at this point, what that did is it automatically created another keyframe right down here underneath me. Yeah. See where the mouse is, so that when you play this, it'll start out large. It'll just squeeze in to play. So if I click OK, we are on our timeline here, and you can see it's quite wide, and we'll play this. And it'll just squeeze this in. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to copy it. And we'll just paste it over here. Now I haven't altered anything. Let me join these together here. We'll just have them go back to back. So now on this one, they're separated by a space. We're going to go back into this one, and we're going to go back about here. This is pretty close to where the other one stopped. And that's where we're going to have it. I'm sorry, I should have done this first. Let me remove all these keyframes. So on this one now, I'm going to set the scale and the position right exactly where it is. And I'm going to take this in this next 5 seconds. So I'm going to move this over to the edge. And I'm going to take the picture and I'm just going to let's not turn it yet. Let's oops, I want to keep the aspect ratio correct. Let's just take this and slide it over. So we'll say okay. And now what we have two pictures combined into one, where it'll squeeze down and then just slide the picture off to the side. All right, let's go into this one. And we're going to remove the keyframes. And with this one, we're going to start where we started out. Keep the aspect ratio the same. And on this one, we're going to rotate it. So we're going to start it where it is, flat here. Actually, wait just a moment. We'll just say okay here. Where did I stop this one? Okay, when this was all the way to the right. All right, that was at 968. Okay, that's what I wanted to find out. So now we'll come back to this third one, because we're going to pick up right exactly where we left off. So I need to start this in the same position. And we'll set the position here. And I'm going to bring that back to center at the end of 5 seconds, but I'm also going to have it do a complete one revolution. We're going to rotate it one time. So again, we're going to slip all the way over here. And for the position, we're going to go right back to, I'm going to say default. Put it in the middle. And the rotation, well, let's make it 360. So now, just to make sure we have it the way that we wanted to do it, let's take a look. Okay. So now we've taken this one picture. We've started out with a wide body frame. Which then slides halfway off camera and rolls back And you can see it didn't quite turn all the way. I can go in and I can fix that by keyframe, but I think you're getting the idea. Now, this same effect does not have to be on just still pictures. You can do this with videos. Let's see what this one is. All right, well, rather than have me grab it out of here, let me do it this way. We'll go to Pixabay, one of my favorite sites. All kinds of free things here. Let's go into videos. And let's do a search for, I don't know, what do you want to see? You guys tell me. Well, I kind of start off with a car, so let's just do a car. Okay, this will work. So this is a 9-second clip, and here's what it looks like. And anything you get on Pixabay's site, you can use free of charge. There's no fee to join. There's nothing like that. We're gonna download it in a 1920 by 1080 an MP4 file. So we'll download that. Let's put it in here, so I know where it is. Now we'll go put it into the editor. And we'll just drag that down into the timeline. I'm going to go ahead and take these 3 pictures out. So we now have this short video clip. And we can do exactly the same thing with this. So let's start it out a little bit smaller. So what we're doing is we're changing the scale. We're going to make this start a little smaller. And at the end of the clip, we are actually going to want this to be much larger. So we'll say okay. So at this point, when we watch this, the entire video clip is getting larger and larger and larger. These are just different ways that you can create interest in your videos, in your editing, enhance your thought processes. I'm going to bring in something else here. Some of you probably saw this clip. If you were on in Facebook today. This is a clip Morgan Gold put up. We'll just go ahead and play it here. So pretty short, little 5-second clip. So does anybody out there know how he did this? I'm going to let you think about this one. We're not going to tell you right now. And there's a number of different ways you can do this. But my first question to you is, do you think that he used multiple cameras? Or do you think this was all done in the editing room? Is it just one shot, or is it 4 shots combined together? Now stop and think about it, because if for example, and let me make this bigger. All right. If you said that he used 4 cameras, and I'm not saying that he didn't, but if he used 4 cameras, my first question to you is, how is the background stable? As you see here, because if he's got a camera looking at himself here, and then another camera looking at himself back here, another camera over here, another camera over here, how did he get the background to line up on everything? Is it possible to do that? How did he get this timing so good? Play it again, where you can see it. And the thing that's really going to throw you off here is he's got a white bucket in one, and the other 3, those are all Lowe's buckets. I'm not sure what store this white one came from, but or does Morgan just happen to have 3 brothers? What do you think? Geeky Garden says it looks like editing to him, but he can't figure out how. Bill on the Rock Homestead says editing software. Okay, well, there's no question about it. There was some editing done on this. Clones, yeah. He's got what is 4? I mean, triplets would be 3. So if there's 4, what are those? Quads?
I have no idea. I can't count that.
Morgan is secretly a ninja. I'll tell you what, I'll get a hold of Morgan this week. We'll see if we can have him on next week. And he can, we'll see if he would be willing to share with everybody here next week just how he did this. because it's a fascinating fascinating thing to see. For such a short video, it's garnered quite a bit of attention. Yeah, that does look like that says Tractor Supply, doesn't it? So he's got Lowe's and Tractor Supply covered. Quads, built on, yeah. So we'll let you guys think about this week, and I know that Morgan likes to join us sometimes. I will get a hold of him and see if he would be willing to join us next week, and share with you all how he accomplished this. Now, one of the ways that different things like this can be accomplished is to actually have the camera set up in a stationary location. Let me see if I can describe this well, or if I have to maybe try to draw something. All right, you have a camera set up in a stationary location, and you actually record yourself dumping bucket 1. And let's just go from left to right. Bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, bucket 4. Everything is sitting on the ground the whole time. And you come up to the first trough that you're going to dump the water in. In other words, might be easier for me to enlarge this again. So this right here, we're going to say this is number 1. And I'm not saying this is how it was done, but this is a way to do it. So we're going to say this is number 1 on the camera. And we're going to show that. So then the camera's rolling, and it takes just a picture of Morgan dumping this bucket in to this trough. And then the camera can keep rolling. That's fine. So now he gets another full bucket of water, and he comes up to this next trough. So we're going to say that's Morgan 2. So that's this one right here. Now the camera's still rolling, and he dumps it into this trough. And then he goes and gets either another full bucket or another bucket of water. And that's Morgan number 3. And that's this one right here. Now the camera has not moved this entire time. The camera has not moved at all. It's been stable up on a tripod. And he continues to record this. And he dumps that third bucket in. Well, now, okay, he's got to go get some more water. For whatever reason, I don't know, maybe he dropped the blue bucket. Anyway, he grabbed the white one, and he came out and did this one. So all of these images are on the exact same piece of footage, only at different times. Now, I'm not saying this is how he did it, but this is a way you can do it. So now he goes in, and he cuts out the images. Well, I shouldn't say he cuts out the image, but he cuts this long file into just the pour sections. I want you to notice that the pouring is pretty close to being all start at the same time, but it's not exact. But he's got this started, and he's got section 1, and I just kind of want you to picture that. Section 1, picture this area over here. And then he's got section 2 right here, section 3, and section 4. And he lines these up on top of each other in his editing program. And I believe he uses Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm pretty sure that's what he uses. Doesn't matter. But just to give you an idea here. Okay. I now have 4 clips here that they're all right on top of each other, but suppose this was one file and I cut out just the pour sections and I get them somewhat lined up here by looks. He's not doing it by sound, but by looks. He knows it takes about the same amount of height. He's dumped so many buckets of water. He knows exactly how he holds it and how fast he dumps it, and so that's just second nature to him. But if we go in and let's look at what this program calls a mask designer. Which one do I want to use? Let's try this one. Oops, my mistake. I went into the entire editor. I should have just gone into the mask designer. Okay, we'll leave that sit as it is. So now what I've done, and just kind of picture this perhaps going backwards. I have this first section of pouring, just the one. So now we're going to turn that line off. We'll turn this line on, and let's set it up with All right, let's set up number 3. And now we'll set up number 4. Okay, so the 4th line in here, I went left to right. So the 4th line, I just have this part of the image. That's what I cut out of the original. And for my 3rd line, we're going to shut line 4 off. We're going to turn line 3 on. As you can see, well, that's the part that I have out of the other one. Now I can see that I overlapped here a little bit, but I think you're getting the point here. And then, of course, with the first party, the first culprit, so now if I come through and I turn all these on, and keep in mind this is the equivalent of 4 separate clips. And I purposely tried to leave some space in here so you could see how it was different. With the mask, I can easily fill that in. But now when we play this, you can see how it all comes together to be a single video clip. I'm guessing that this is probably how he did it. I won't say for certain. But this is more than likely the way that he did it, or a very, very similar fashion, by using masking. And masking is simply blocking off a section of the image that you don't want to be seen. Can make it for like a picture-in-picture effect. Now we can come back through and I can alter the mask on this last one. We'll just widen it out here a little bit. I think you can see here now that it's all put back together into a single file where everything lines up and pours. So if you guys would like, I will see if I can get Morgan to be here next week. And we can get his input on how he did this. We'll see if my guess is right. You guys, in the meantime, can come up with whatever other thoughts and guesses you might have. And go from there. But this is a common way to do it. And this certainly doesn't have to be done with pouring buckets of water. If you let your imagination run wild with this, and Oh, she's not in here tonight. Susie Bandana.
She's a hit and miss.
If anybody out there knows Bandana Grandma, I was probably maybe 3 years ago. Maybe 4. I don't know. I showed her a little bit on using masking and using some, I'm going to call it like jump editing, where she took that to a step where she created what she calls kitchen fairies to help in her kitchen, where they magically clean up. They set the table. So she has them set the table, has them do the dishes. She has a number of cute videos that she did using some techniques very similar to this. They didn't actually create fairies where you could see them, but you could see the results. And that's kind of a little bit different approach, but some of those same principles apply. So what I kind of want to urge you to do is to take some of these thoughts and ideas and just incorporate bits and pieces in some of your editing. It makes it a little bit more unique. It makes it uniquely yours. It helps you develop your own style, and who knows, maybe Peanuts Peppers will be known in a few years as a Peanut Peppers effect for something he's come up with. Or Geeky Gardens effect. Who knows? One can never tell. Don't know where you're going with these. But anyway, that's how I would have done this. If you'd like for me to try to get Morgan on here, you got to let me know. And I'll do my best to get him out here. But you know, if you guys have no interest, that's fine too. Just let me know what you want to do. And you can do that either in the chat right now, or you can do that with sending me emails or whatever. Morgan's a great guy, and I'm sure that if he's not busy, he'd be more than happy to pop in here for a while and go through some things with you. The other thing I want to ask you is, are you all ready to have another go around with Crystal from Copper Kettle Farms with some online editing programs, specifically Canva and maybe some other things? Are you interested in having her back? Something to look at. I very seldom do anything with an online editor. So we can she's another one we can get back in here again. If you guys ever find any new resources to get either video clips and or pictures that can be freely used, please bring them in here and share them. We talk the three big picture places are Unsplash. That's UNSPLASH, Unsplash, Pixabay, and Pexels would probably be the third. Those are the three big ones. There's more, but those are the three big ones. And if you didn't know, if you do have the Power Director, They have a deal with Shutterstock where not only do I have access to videos and photos, but also music as well. And there is a lot of music. So, and there's more added all the time. One of the other reasons to that I think it's a very, very good deal to go with Power Director. Now, Filmora also has music, but do not use Filmora's music on YouTube if you're monetized. Everything I'm showing you here, you can do that with. Monetization is not an issue with any of these Shutterstock pieces of music or pictures or videos, but that is not the case with the included music and stuff from Filmora. You will find yourself getting tagged with copyright issues. You can use it, you just don't want to monetize it. So where are we at? Okay, Bill on the Rock Homesteads, always learn from Morgan. Crystal's always a great teacher. The Mindful Homestead, a lot. Okay. All right. Well, a couple people have said that they'd be interested with Morgan, so we'll see. I'll get a hold of Morgan this week and see if we can get him on maybe next Tuesday night. And let me know when you're ready for another round with Crystal. We'll get her on. Oh, the music that's available for free. Of course, the number one thing where you're not going to have any issues is with, of course, the YouTube library. If you have Power Director, you can get this music from Shutterstock to use in your videos. Now, this is not everything that's on the Shutterstock site. This is a selected bunch.
They're not saying what you're doing.
This is just a selected bunch from Shutterstock. It's pretty healthy selection, but it certainly isn't everything. If you have a TubeBuddy, if you have a paid TubeBuddy membership, you can also go to this place called Audio Hero, which is totally free. Over 250,000 royalty-free music tracks and sound effects. Great selection. If you would decide to jump on the Epidemic Sound platform, you can get it at 25% off. This is another music place. It says chart music for YouTube videos. Claims 85,000 plus tracks to choose from. It's 15% off. And Juke Deck is artificial intelligence music, which is computer generated audio tracks. And it's totally free if you have that paid membership in TubeBuddy. These are all resources that you can use as a monetized entity on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to say that you won't still get some claims from time to time. I have probably most of the Christmas music from Audio Hero that when I put together some Christmas album things were maybe a 4-hour Christmas music show, a holiday music show. I'll mix up some Audio Hero and other sources for these Christmas tunes, winter tunes, and invariably I will get slammed with companies saying, nope, copyright infringement, we're going to take all your money, we're going to do this and that. And if that stuff is downloaded from Audio Hero, absolutely not. I just have to dispute it, send it in and say, hey, I have a purchase license to utilize this from Audio Hero. Here is the download link. And if they don't drop the claim, you send Audio Hero an email with what's going on and what company, and Audio Hero will go in and they'll get it dropped for you. So Audio Hero is a great resource if you want to go through TubeBuddy. If you don't use TubeBuddy, I recommend you at least use the free version. The free version will not get you these things back here. This is for paid members. That's for your member perks. But on, I believe we have a link down below for TubeBuddy. Just TubeBuddy, just do a /2family homestead. Would appreciate it.
What other stuff is on the TubeBuddy paid service?
Here are some other things. Tuber Tools is something that Nick Nimmin has come up with. There's some animation stuff. But now this is not, Tuber Tools is free. This is 50% off a 500 pack. Video Maker's 30% off for the first month. Make intros, thumbnails, banners, and more in seconds. It's a 30% off deal. A YouTube starter kit sample pack is free. Filmora, this is not a deal. In the first place, this is not updated. Filmora 9 no longer exists. It's Filmora X. It's very hard to see my face there. Okay, let me turn me off here. Okay. Filmora 9 is the old version. And this 1 month free plus 10% off, that is not a deal. That is just not a deal.
You have two questions here.
So it's a 99 cents a month with TubeBuddy. I don't know of a deal of 99 cents a month.
And what are those integrations all about?
What are the integrations all about? Okay. These are tools to help you create videos in some fashion or another. So Tuber Tools, just for example, open this up. These are different screens that you can use for like end screens. See, I can come in here and I can preview these and download them, but they have blank spaces in them so that the end screens on your videos, you can place this into the end of your video and create that end card where it's going to show the viewer 2 videos and a place to subscribe. And so he has the cutouts featured here so that, and I'm sure you've maybe seen this on some videos. Remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching. These are just pre-made. Top left where it says integrations. Top left where it says oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is where you are linked up to other items. For example, Twitter, Facebook, TubeBuddy Mobile, Patreon, Social Blue Book, Magic Links. We don't have Magic Links. We don't have Social Blue Book. Patreon we're currently not using. We have the TubeBuddy Mobile is linked up. Our Twitter account is linked up. Facebook is linked. So I'm sorry, I didn't know where you were at, where you were wanting to go with that.
And Francine said, when she was talking about the 99 cents a month for TubeBuddy,
Mm-hmm.
at that point she said it was the last screen, so I don't know where Francine might have seen that.
99 cents a month. Versus in training. And target. Mobile apps.
Yeah, I think it would have been at the beginning when you first got into them.
Well, the account that I currently have, which is certainly not a top of the line account, is what they call a Lifetime Pro account. So that's the license that I have. I have that under the 2-family homestead license. And that gets you everything that you see in here that's dark. We don't get the competitor scorecard. We don't get the A/B tests or the brand alerts or the search rank tracking or the retention analyzer. I don't get that because I only have the pro license. But it does give me a health report, Launchpad, backups and export, canned responses, promo materials, settings.
$9.90. Okay, I think it is free with TubeBuddy and $9.99 without.
Okay.
I don't think she meant 99 cents.
Okay, so Audio Hero is $9.99 a month by itself if you are not a member of TubeBuddy. If you have a TubeBuddy account, it's free. It is absolutely free.
That's what she was talking about.
And it is an incredible
Okay, it's afternoon.
So this is the Audio Hero site. So it has all these genres. Of course, it's all searchable in any form that you want. By length, mood, tempo. They also have a huge selection of sound effects. So anyway, that's just some of the different things you can do there. All right. I'm being told that it's after 9 o'clock. Who's on tonight? Do you know right offhand? All right. I'm not sure who's on right now, but if you do go somewhere, say Smudge sent you, we'd appreciate it. Let folks know that we are doing our best to encourage your participation in all other channels. So thank you so much for being here tonight. We'll see if we can get Morgan in here next week. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. I think we will be here Thursday. That's nothing certain. But I think we will be here Thursday. And if we don't see you before next Monday.
Yeah, Southern Blessed. You're right, Emma. Southern Blessed is on.
Southern Blessed. Okay. Yeah, go to Southern Blessed and say, why in the hell weren't you in Two Families Homestead live stream tonight before you started yours? And say, glad to be here. Smudge sent us. Thank you, folks. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.